32 teams to 48 teams, all vying to become world champions. Who will lift the World Cup in 2026? This evening, I welcome you to the discussion as we talk about the FIFA World Cup that is currently happening in Canada, the USA, and Mexico. It's not without its mishaps, but it also has its glory. And for those persons who are fans of Spain, you're already experiencing a shock. And for those persons who are carrying Les Blues, France, well, today you celebrate. But before we get into all that discussion, and I hope that you are prepared to go into the discussion and that it will be engaging and insightful, I wish to thank the members of the board of directors and invitees who turned up for our board meeting last evening, whether you joined in person at the secretariat or online. I must say though that I was a bit disappointed, still am disappointed with the turnout at our meeting last evening. And I do hope that I know that we're coming down towards the end of the administration and it is getting, for some persons, it might be a bit tiring and you have committed so much. But I'm asking you just for one last push. One last push in this administration that we try to see how best we can continue to offer support with as much enthusiasm as though it was just the start of the administrative year. We still have persons who are depending on us to end with a bang. We still have projects to complete, and our work is not yet done for this administrative year. So I'm asking that you continue to support your meetings and that you do so in in your numbers so that we can be as productive as possible. This Saturday coming is a third Saturday, which means that we continue with our giving and our service, and we go to the Mary Atkins shelter on Hanover Street, downtown Kingston, where we will be doing our monthly feeding in partnership jointly with the Kiwanis Club of Barbican, right? So I'm asking you all to offer your support there. Our NDTC benefit is also coming up, and that will be, I know for all the World Cup fans, no need to worry, that's the rest day, because that's the day before the finals of the World Cup. So that's right, there will be no matches on, so you don't have to worry about anything. So come and enjoy a great evening of rich culture and of support and service and friendship. So come and watch yourselves and watch your history come alive in the form of movement on stage. And for those persons who have been before, you can share with others because you know you have experienced the richness of the culture and how enjoyable it is. Right, so let persons know tickets are available for $1,000. We are still open to partnering with other Kiwanis clubs. And so if you are interested in partnering with us, we offer the opportunity for you to do so. This is a sure way for you to get some money in your club's kitty as you try to complete the administrative year with a bang or prepare for the upcoming administrative year, provide some cushion from now for the projects that you will undertake. Because even though this administrative year is coming to an end, the work of Kiwanis is not coming to an end, it continues. Right. So these things will help with that. And I'm sure DLG Willie will reiterate and repeat in the notices and announcements. It is with pleasure that I now invite VP Dr. Andrew Burton, Uncle, to come and do the official welcome and roll call of clubs.
Hello,
VP
hello,
Andrew.
hello. Good evening, everyone. Yes, you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Yes. All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome one and all to this our meeting, Let's Talk edition, the World Cup 2026. As President said, I'm seeing so many flags around the place. If we feel like such a multinational nation right now, and I invite you all as we do the roll call. Um, Please introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from, as in what club you're from or who invited you. And you can also share which team you're supporting for the World Cup, or as in Jamaica, we say which team you're bringing. So if we have any Kiwanians from outside of Jamaica, please unmute and let us know where you're from. Any Kiwanians on the call from outside of Jamaica? No. All right. I do see DP Paul, one of our own Kiwanians, um, currently outside of Jamaica on the call. Welcome, DP.
Thank you very much, VP
Do we
Andrew.
are, are you Team Japan?
I'm Team Brazil.
All right, all right. We have Brazilians. I expect some Brazilians on the call, some Spaniards, some Argentines. Do we have any Kiwanians joining us from Division 25? None from Division 25? Okay, moving on to Division 24. Any Kiwanians from Division 24? No, not yet. All right. Any Kiwanians from Division 23 East? Kiwanians from Division 23 East.
Good evening. Good evening. This is
Good
Chair.
evening.
Hi, this is Chair Marlene from the Kiwanis Club of New Kingston, bringing you greetings from our president, Veronica. Currently, there are 7 members online with more members to join shortly. And just wishing you guys a great meeting and thank you for the invitation.
All right. Thank you so much, Chair Marlene.
And we are for Team Brazil. I'm talking on her behalf and mine. I don't know what team she
All
was for,
right. So
but I said Team Brazil.
all right.
Bill.
Team Brazil. All right.
Speak for
All right.
yourself. Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm going with Spain.
DLG.
Ah,
Spain. All right. Good to have you on our call as usual, DLG. Good
Well,
evening.
Germany. I'm
thank
I'm afraid
you,
that
thank
nobody has
you.
said Germany before.
Germany, sure.
I see the flag in your name. Yes. All right. Welcome. We have a mixed team from Kiwanis New Kingston. Excellent. Um, any other clubs from Division 23 East? 23 East. No. Any clubs from Division 23 West? Clubs from Division 23 West. How about 23 Central or Home Division? Any other clubs from Division 23 Central?
Oh, most certainly. Good evening. How are
Of
you today?
course. Good evening. I'm great, thank you.
Great, great. I
How
am
are you doing and
from,
who are you representing?
I am doing wonderful, just tired. I'm
Right.
representing 23 Central, sorry, online. I know that's not what you're asking.
Yes.
And my winning, my I am carrying the winning team.
All right.
Whichever
Okay. You're on
team
the wagon.
wins. No, no, no,
Whichever
no.
team
I'm just
wins.
driving. I'm just a
So
driver.
who's the winning
Whatever team.
team?
Yeah, the winning team. All right.
Right. That's what we
Um,
call the wagon. Whichever team wins.
yes. And let me see. I'm just scanning while I talk with you, and I'm just seeing my reflection. Not even DLG
You have
Desmond.
DLG.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
there.
man.
Okay.
DLG
See,
Desmond is here. He's here.
see,
Yes, man.
a
Up in the
delegation of
co-host
two.
section.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, great.
Right.
All right. Have a good meeting. Thanks.
All
I'll
right.
just listen. I'll just
Thank you
listen.
so much.
Okay.
Great to have you.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Any other clubs from Division 23 Central? No? Okay. Looking through the chat, if do we have any SLPs? I do see a special name and a greeting in the chat from Faculty Advisor Extraordinaire Aldith Douglas. Sends greetings and welcome. Welcome, FA Aldith. Always a pleasure to have you in our meetings. Any of our other SLP members? Any other of our SLP members or affiliates on the call? No. All right. Any guests who are with us this evening? If you're a guest, you feel free to unmute. If you are a Kiwanis who has invited a guest, also you may unmute to introduce your guest. Okay. There being no further introductions, thank you all for participating. We had a few Brazilians, German, Spaniard, and one supporting whichever winning team there is. And we look forward to more participation as we progress through the meeting, as we do our Let's Talk World Cup edition. All right, back over to President Zuri.
Thank you, VP Uncle Andrew. I will at this time. No, I won't. I won't tell you who I'm supporting. Maybe we'll leave that until the end or maybe for the discussions. But at this time, I've only received apology from Director Andy Jean-Baptiste, who is unable to be a part of the meeting this evening due to work commitments. I will ask DLG Willie if did you receive any apologies from any Kingstonians?
No, I didn't, President. Sorry.
All right, thank you, DLG. Any other member of the Kiwanis Club of Kingston online who at this point would wish to extend apology on behalf of another member may go ahead and do so now. All right, it seems like we have no other apologies. So at this time, we will move to recognition of birthdays, anniversaries, and special events. And I will invite President-designate Arsenio Sawyers to lead us through that section of this evening's agenda.
Hi, good evening, everyone. As usual, this is a segment where we'd like to just acknowledge those of our members or any guests on the call that will be celebrating a special day this week. I didn't receive a list, but I know that DP Stephen Gregg is celebrating his anniversary. So happy anniversary to him and his wife. If there are any of our members with a special day, whether it be birthday, anniversary, or any other special occurrence this week, or any guest on the call with a special day, feel free to open your mics and share with us.
Can I tell you that my birthday was yesterday, but I'm still collecting stuff. So
Happy birthday, PDUDC.
you're welcome.
DPUDC, yes.
Thank you so much, PE. Arsenio.
Do we have anyone else with our special day this week? All right. If not, I will hand back to you, President Zuri.
Thank you, PDR Senior, and to all those persons celebrating, we wish you the very best, and we also do wish for you many, many happy returns. We will now have Kiwanis education, which will be done by DLG Desmond.
Thank you, President Zuri. Good evening, fellow Kiwanians, SLP members, and guests. Greetings, F.A. Ali Douglas, and happy birthday again, Dr. Eurydice. Purpose of the President's Training Conference. The Kiwanis President Training Conference is crucial for equipping club leaders with the knowledge and skills necessary to effectively manage and guide their clubs, ultimately contributing to the overall success in accomplishing club goals. The conference reviews Kiwanis international district goals, emphasizes club goals, and facilitates the development of clubs' specific plans. Now, it's broken down. Really, we have understanding responsibilities and expectations. The conference ensures that incoming presidents and board members clearly understand their duties and expectations placed upon them as leaders of their clubs. These include understanding the structure of Kiwanis, the roles of other club officers and directors, and how to effectively delegate tasks and responsibilities. Next is developing essential leadership skills. Training sessions focus on enhancing leadership capabilities, including communication, delegation, motivation, and conflict resolution. These skills are vital for fostering a positive and productive club environment. Next, aligning with Kiwanis international district goals and initiatives. The conference helps presidents understand their goals and how their club can translate them into club goals. This includes aligning clubs' initiatives with Kiwanis' focus on serving children and building better communities. Then we have strengthening community impact. These are some of the things that the President Conference will address. And by equipping presidents with the knowledge and skills to effectively lead their clubs, the training conference indirectly strengthens the club's ability to make positive impact in their communities. Effective leadership translates to better oriented events, increased membership engagement, and ultimately more effective service to children. And finally, the financial budget. The financial budget for the upcoming year is also discussed in the conference for finalization before the end of the administrative year. The committee chairman or chairman are responsible for providing the treasurer with a budget for their respective committees. And this preliminary information is discussed at the conference where adjustments may be made for subsequent approval by the board. And that is it for Kiwanis Education, President Zuri. I know it really comes right after the CLE training, and we'll have the CLE training on the 10th or the 11th of July, and followed by the President's Training Conference soon thereafter. That's it. Thank you, President. Over to you.
Thank you, DLG Desmond. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at that time where we move to our main event. And without no one asking, I'll volunteer some information that I saw online that the club with the most goal scorers so far in this year's World Cup is Arsenal. So far, Arsenal has the most goals in the World Cup. So while you support your teams, I ask that you continue to celebrate the EPL champion. Right, so I now hand over to DP Stewart, who will lead us in our main event for this evening.
No prizes for that information, President. It's just an interesting bit of information, though. Fellow Kiwanians and guests, wow, let me see if I can. All right, let me turn it this way. Okay, I guess this is a little better. Yes, fellow Kiwanians and guests, I didn't think it was possible for us to compete with the World Cup. So, when you can't beat them, join them. So kind of that's what we're thinking about while we're having this meeting. Why the theme is what it is this evening. And I want to assure all of you that you don't have to be an expert to have an opinion. And it doesn't matter whether you are right or wrong in the final analysis. We just want to have an engaging discussion that let's make it engaging, and we let's not get too hung up about whether you pick the right team. It's nice to know who is support. Jamaica traditionally has this love affair with Brazil, and I'm part of that as well. But I must admit, and this is my little preamble, they didn't look too good in the first match. And if you saw the flyer, one of the things I posed on it, I put about 4 themes on it, and we'll go into other things as well. I said, can Brazil turn it around? So that's one question. Then I thought, when I looked at who the goal scorers were, for Germany and for, well, you can't even mention France, because France, I don't think France has any white. I saw one kind of clear skin looking guy on the team, but I didn't see his hair so good, so I'm not even sure what his ethnicity is. But France is an all-black team, practically. I saw black players on Australia, which that's an interesting thing. A lot of the refugees from Sudan and in other parts of Africa seem to have migrated to Australia, and their kids are now the ones who we are seeing playing football for Australia. And then there is which other team I was thinking about? Anyway, it will come up. So I noticed that most of the goals, President, I would have a statistic that I would have been even more interested in is, although you're telling us how many goals were scored by Arsenal, I would be curious to know how many of the goals were scored by black players, whether they're playing for a black country or a European or a white country. That statistic I would love to know, but I guess you weren't counting that. So the other thing that I had down was who will win the Golden Boot, and based on how Mbappe started off today, he's obviously one of the candidates. Oh, the other player I was trying to remember is this guy from the US, Balungo or something like that. I'm sure I didn't pronounce it correctly, but I wrote it down. So when I look at my notes, I'll be able to pronounce his name properly. But he's also, interestingly, he could have played for 3 countries. The one where he was born, and I can't remember which African country he was born in, but his parents migrated to the UK, and he was a part of the one of these, like all these EPL teams have the junior ranks, or where they train these little boys from that age. He was a part of that. So he could have played, he was eligible to play for England, but he chose the United States. I can't even imagine why he would, but that's another matter. So he's one of the other players that I have noticed emerging. But that's not to say that we're surprised that Black players are playing for the United States. That's not the point. But it's just in his story, and he scored 2 goals. You know, one was a really nice shot. That's just part of the story. And then the fourth thing I have was, can an African team win the 2026 World Cup? You know, I saw a list of about the top 8 or 10 teams in terms of ranking, and there's one African team that is in it. Anybody wants to take a guess and say which African team was in the top 10? Or it was a top 8, I think. Anybody wants to just shout it out?
Morocco.
Okay, yes, it is. Morocco was the one team mentioned. But there are actually 10 African teams in the World Cup this year. And, you know, I heard a little bit of history too, which is back in the day, and I'm not sure which World Cup it would have been, when only one African team was allowed. In other words, you know, they allocate regions, they allocate a number of teams from each region. And the World Cup is coming from the days of 16. And then I'm not sure it went to 24 before it went to 32. But anyway, now we're at 48. But there was a time when only one team from the continent of Africa could play in the World Cup, because that was the allocation. And I think it was Nkrumah who said, until you guys, you know, he organized, I think, a boycott, and not the following year, but the next 4 year, the next World Cup, that began to change. And now we have 10 teams in 10 African teams in the World Cup. So let us touch on the first point. Can Brazil turn it around? And I have a view. I'll make one comment, and then I'm gonna ask people to come in on this, because I'm not planning to either monopolize this. I'm just planning to, I want to kind of steer it, but I don't want to be the only one talking. I really want participation this evening. So I'll open with about Brazil. Brazil has a player who has not played yet or he did not play in the first match. His name is let me just call it Endrick. Yeah, that's his name, Endrick. Because one of the things I noticed about the Brazil team is that it didn't seem to have a lot of oomph up front. In fact, I was in an office yesterday, and the agent that I was dealing with, you know, we started to talk about football a little bit. And he told me that Brazil looked like the team was made up of prep school. No, this is no disparaging of prep schools, you know, but the point he was making, and in fact, he used an example. You know, when you're 6 years old and you have braces, it shows that your needs have been satisfied. So he was basically saying that this Brazil team looks like a team that's not hungry, that they look privileged, and they are, you know, but there's one player who doesn't fit that bill. Separate and apart from Junior. He wasn't considering Junior as part of that group. But there's this player called Endrick, who has not been selected, or he didn't play in the first match. And everybody who knows anything about the Brazil team is wondering, why hasn't he been brought in? Because the attack just doesn't seem to have. If you looked at France today, France looked like an attacking team. And they were not playing against a Curacao or a weak or some weak team. They were playing against Senegal, which is a pretty decent team, right? And yet they were able to break them down. But Brazil just didn't seem to have that kind of firepower, continuously opening the defense and getting goals. So I think if they bring him on, and I don't know if it's a problem with the coach, but I hear he's not very well liked by his teammates. In fact, I saw a video where in practice, one of the guys, it's just the Brazilian team playing against two teams. And the way one of the guys tackled him, you would think he was attacking somebody from a foreign team and from not another fellow Brazilian. You'd never believe that he would do his own teammate like that. So I hear he's not very popular. Not sure why, but I think he's going to be the secret. And if Brazil does not use him, they're not going to have a chance. Okay, who would like to comment? And I'm not going to wait for people. I'm going to ask DP Paul, you're all the way in Japan, and you say you're not trained for Japan, you train for Brazil. Have you any thoughts on can Brazil turn it around? DP Paul, are you hearing me? Remember, we're not looking for expert opinion, we're just looking for opinions.
I think DP Paul might be traveling.
Oh yeah? Okay.
In terms of their
maybe
Brazil.
going to work. I know this is his work time. Yeah. This is normal work time. So he might be on his way to his office. All right. Yeah. DP Rupert, how about you? I looked on a few names that I saw before.
Yeah, he confirmed it in the chat. He's on the train.
Oh, yeah. He's on the train. Yes, Rupert.
Oh yeah, you hearing me now? I have a theory on Brazil, you see?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Over the years, they tend to pack up over the past, pack the team with those pretty young players from Europe, the most privileged players who have gone on to Europe, and they have left a lot of the homegrown players. And I think that's sometimes you kind of see it come up with the way they treat each other.
Oh,
and there's
yes,
also another.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go on.
We have to remember that even though Brazil has so many good players, Brazil is a huge country, and oftentimes they don't know each other. And it's when they're called to the team, that's when they get to in training, they get to meet each other. And I'm hoping is the fact that they haven't gelled yet. And I hope as they practice, they don't have much time, but I hope as they play more together, they'll get better. I think so.
Well, I hope so. But do you realize that if we had not moved from 32 to 48, right? Brazil would not have been in this World Cup. How many people realize that? Brazil lost about 4 or 5 matches in their lead up among the regional, teams that they were playing, from South American teams. And had it not been for the fact that the numbers had moved up to 48, and I guess more teams were allocated from South America, Brazil would not be in this World Cup. And in some of the practice matches that have come on since, it is the same guy I'm talking about, and Hendrick, who has traditionally been brought on in the last 30 minutes, and who has made an impression every time. So I don't understand exactly what is his problem, And I don't know if so. I don't know if it's a beef with him, or if he's aware that he might cause a conflict within the team because the other players don't like him, and therefore it will destroy whatever harmony exists. But I don't know. But they better figure it out and figure it out fast. Who else wants to comment on this? DLG, Gerthen, I heard you say you are picking Brazil. You have any thoughts on this one? On whether they can turn it around?
Sorry, Stu, I did not say Brazil.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I think she said
No,
Germany.
no,
Oh,
I said Spain.
oh
Spain.
yes. Oh yes. Okay,
Spain.
we're gonna come to Spain. We're gonna come
Anyway,
to Spain.
I believe, I haven't really gotten a lot of thought, but I just watched for a little, and I do not think Brazil is doing too good at all. And I agree with some of this suggestion that they need to gel. But I don't know. They don't look like they're friendly, and they don't look like they're playing the same game. I don't know. So I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not for Brazil at all. They
Okay.
have a
Stuart,
lot of work to do. So sorry, Stu. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for your opinion. We're good. Did somebody say something a while
Stuart,
ago?
Yeah, Robert was trying to speak.
Okay. Hey, Robert. Come on.
yeah,
Jump
man.
in. Jump in. Jump in.
I, I, I was very upset. I'm very passionate, as you know, Stu, about football, and especially my Brazilian side. Ancelotti is a great coach. He got the team last year. As you said, coming out of successive World Cups, little more history. We have to go as far back, Stewie, as the 2002 and 98, when we had the special footballers and everything. I honestly believe from 2006 come right down, we had ballers, but somewhere, some off the line, we could not find that magic or that spark that we had within a little circle of, say, 3 to 4 World Cups.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I've watched a couple of videos, and I'm not talking about match videos. I'm talking about commentary videos. And one of the things, and in the lead up to the World Cup.
Maldini, Costa Cora. No,
Oh,
Maldini,
sorry.
Nesta. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were still speaking because you had cut out. All right, continue.
Yeah, man. Maldini, Nesta, Costa Cota, and Bergami. To date, when they had two, they went through a season with not conceding a goal when Italian league was the best. So fast forward, Ancelotti was on that team. He became a coach, and we know that he was well with AC Milan, same side, and his famous formation was 4-2-3-1. Now, over the years when he used that based on say if he's playing against another formation, which might be 4-3-3, he's able to have players who, when they see, they can read up the game from defensive midfield, attacking midfield, and know what to do and change the game. When he came on in 2025, we had a Brazilian coach before that. Why the team wasn't doing well. But Ancelotti came in. I still feel that he needed more time and tried. Now, in the second half, from how I watched it, I tried to reach home to catch it. I didn't catch the start. When I started to watch the match, I realized that Morocco was sitting in a low block. So they were sitting in a mid block, meaning that they were behind the ball, countering with the spaces. What I found strange, really I found strange, was that we don't have a spark, that creative midfield baller who can do the things. But yet I see Rafinha, who is excellent for Barcelona. And a win, I mean, I say, but another win them Rafinha play upon. So when I see my boy score the goal, which is Vinicius, and I say, yes. Then I see Ancelotti make the changes then. I mean, I say, we have a defensive problem where the ball is not transitioning from defense to midfield fast enough. So the Moroccans them start read up that and put pressure upon we. So when we play out from the back, the ball is for some reason not transitioning fast enough. So it looked like they were pressuring us. But when you look at the stats, we really turn it around in the second half, but we're not able to break down the block the proper way. So I'm saying that if we have this side and for us to turn it around, we definitely have to look at his formation, put Rafinha, put Venus in the right positions, get that youth, what you say, who has score goal, Hendrickson on the field, regardless of what, because we had a Romarian. I remember when we had Romario, Mario a party animal. And the man a goal scorer. And then give a World Cup. So
Okay.
even though we have had these things where we are footballers, oh boy, we don't like.
Okay.
As a fan, we can turn it around, but we just need to see how we can go forward when sides hit us with a block and how we can go around that.
Okay. Is that who's that? What's that? Where's that? Is that a TV?
That's President Toure, DP.
Okay. Oh yes, I saw his name come up. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thanks, Robert. You know, I really just
Stewie. Hi,
yes.
Stewie. I
Hi,
have
how
my
are you
hand
doing?
up. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Hi, Beb. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'd love to
Yeah,
hear what you have to say.
yeah. Well, good evening, everyone. Listen, I'm not a football fan. I must say, I try to learn as I go along. I
Mhm.
enjoy the games because it's high class football being played, and it's
Mhm.
really nice to watch the movements. Really, really
Mhm.
love it. But I wanted to find out something though. This World Cup, is it a little different from the other ones? They're being played in three countries:
Yes.
Mexico,
It's Mexico, the US, and
this
Canada.
is, and
They're
Canada.
close.
How that
Only,
works?
only,
Tell me about that.
only the group stage. Only the group stage. When they get to the knockout stages, the stage, all of those matches are going to be played in the US. It's not the
Oh,
first time that the World Cup has been split into, but it was never split into three. It has been split
mhm,
before into two countries. I'm pretty sure that has happened before. But because Mexico is nearby, Canada is just up north, and the US
mhm.
is there, it's logistically it's not a bad idea. And they're all, I guess you wouldn't call Canada a footballing country, but they play football and they have reached the World Cup a number of times. So
So,
it's not an issue. They just put
oh,
various groups in various areas. So that's how they set up the camps, and they are gonna play against each other in certain groups. But
oh,
when
so,
it comes to the knockout stage now, when you don't know who is going to meet who,
mhm.
and then all of those matches are going to be played in the US. And the
Okay,
final will be at Met Stadium in Jersey.
okay. So it's nothing unusual.
No, well, it's the first time it's split between three countries, but I think it
Mhm.
has been split between two countries in the past.
Before, okay, okay. Thanks
Yeah.
for that. But I do enjoy watching both,
Well,
like
if
cricket
you
too. I love it. I watch it, but I'm not a fan. But as
well,
I go
I
along,
don't
I
know.
learn.
I I don't know if you need to make that distinction, because if you watch it and you like it, you're a fan.
You think so?
Yes,
Ah,
man.
all right, I will continue then.
It's only a matter
Okay.
of who you choose, who you support now.
Yeah.
That determines whether you're a wagonist. But we
No,
won't put that label. We won't put
no,
that label on
no,
you.
I'm definitely not a wagonist. I prefer to stay neutral.
Yes.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Stewie.
Sure. Sure. Okay. How many people can tell me the four new teams that who have never played before in the World Cup who are in this World Cup? You don't have to tell me. Oh, if you even know one, then tell me the one, and then we'll add up the four. There are four teams who are playing in the World Cup for the first time.
Curacao.
That's one.
Is Cape Verde or something like that?
Yeah, Cape Verde. No prizes this evening here. Is not a quiz. Mark, that's Mark, right? No prizes. So you don't have to go. You don't have to Google
My
this one.
answer is still the same, eh?
Okay. Yes, Cape Verde is a second one. What's a third? Give me a third and a fourth. All right. One is Jordan, and the other one is Uzbekistan. Those are the four teams playing for the first time in a FIFA World Cup final. Okay, let's let us leave Brazil a little bit alone. I mean, it can always come back in if somebody wants to chime in on something about Brazil. But I want to. Okay, which team has impressed you the most? I'm gonna say France has impressed me the most. I watched the game this evening, and I was impressed because even before they scored, they were moving forward and they were really, they look businesslike. One last comment I should throw in about Brazil. Brazil is devoid of stars. I mean, Neymar is, let's consider Neymar is out, so for the time being, he probably won't play in this World Cup. Now, Junior is probably the most popular and well-known of the Brazilian team, and he's doing fine. He's doing fine. That was a very nice goal he scored. But generally speaking, there are no real big stars. I mean, let's say Junior is just on the cusp, right? It's just on the cusp. So one of the arguments, I remember I said I was watching some videos before and the lead up, and these were videos of commentary. One point that was being made was that because they're not overshadowed by stars and they don't have a Neymar who they can lean on, that maybe the team will learn to lean on itself and therefore produce the goods. So that was one theory. And, but after watching the first match, you kind of wonder, something is not right up front and in the midfield, so let's leave that alone. All right, going to France now. Who wants to comment on what they saw this evening? Let's throw it in. Anybody? Let's give some others who haven't spoken yet a chance. President, you're not excluded here because I think you have been watching the games.
Okay. No. Well, second half, France turned up. First half, don't know what was happening.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
the second half, France turned up. They were very intentional. But what you also saw, though, is the depth of the squad. So, because when you can switch one good player for another good player, you see that France have depth. So, they're going to be, well, they were my pick. Spain was the next team that everybody was looking at, and Spain is supposed, because Spain European champions, so everybody had their eyes on Spain and Spain to win. But when you look at the Brazil match compared to Spain, not Brazil, because Brazil forget themselves a long time ago. From them stop playing samba football, Brazil has just forgotten themselves and trying to adapt to other people. So we won't talk about them until they rediscover themselves. Then they'll come back in the talk. But France, if they continue, because Senegal is not an easy team.
Right.
And so and they seem to know each other and the connection was good. You see them having a good idea of space and where the next player is, and their connection was there. This is and they have been there before. Remember, champions, runner-up, they want to get there. Mbappe wants to leave his mark. He is 2 goals away from the record of most World Cup goals. So I'm sure that is playing on his mind as well. So not only do they have the skills, but there is the drive and the hunger. So I think that will make hunger makes people, I say, look out for France.
Okay. The other team, I mean, West Germany kind of demolished Curacao, but do they still strike you as an excellent team, or is it just the quality of the opposition? I mean, were you really impressed? And this is an open question now. Were people really impressed with West Germany, or are they saying it was Curacao? Who wants to comment on that?
I think people are wondering, DP Stewart, why is still referring to them as West Germany as opposed to just Germany?
The people them will come through for a long time,
My apologies. Yes, Germany.
May I chime in?
Yes, sure.
Well, I'll chime in with a initial follow-up on the France comment. There's a lot that's expected of France. I mean, it's an experienced team, quality team, young, very pacey, etc. I thought though that Senegal gave up the match. It should have been a much, much closer match. And I think if Senegal had converted their opportunities, hitting the post among others, the closing shot at the end of the first half, it would be a much different game. The other observation I made with Senegal, they were playing everything down their left wing. There's a lot of bungle ball. They were literally walking up to their teammates to pass the ball at some intervals. And they did not spread the game as much as they should, especially making passes, with changing the game to the right wing, where they had opportunities and a lot of real estate. And I think lastly on the France-Senegal matter, I just think that they lost their equilibrium in the latter third of the game, where they get exhausted. They gave up the discipline that they had in the first half. And so it created a lot of space in the final third for France to now leverage their pace. Because if you notice the goals, they were beaten for pace
Yes.
in most of them. And there was nobody there covering sufficiently. I guess because they were behind, they threw a lot more players forward. And I think France rightfully so exploited that. But if Senegal had converted their opportunities, it would be a totally different game.
So France would have had to be coming from behind.
DP,
coming from behind, if at all, win any at all.
DP,
Because
let me.
we clearly saw
Sorry. President wants to come in a second. Go ahead, Pres.
No, but what I'm saying, I hear PvP, Mark, and people keep doing this, but remember, you have to play with what you have and who you have there. And the match is a 90 minutes game. So Senegal not being prepared, should have, could have, would have. If they had it, they would have done it. They needed a striker, someone similar like Mbappe to close. They don't have that. But we can't use that to now make an excuse to say, oh, France would have been behind. No, it's what's there that you have. And you use what you have. So we can't be making these kind of excuses.
Yeah, okay.
And see.
Let me separate. That's a good point. But let me separate two arguments. All I think Mark is saying, or one of the points he made, is that they could have scored a goal. Now, this would not have meant that they didn't have whatever they didn't have. They could have scored a goal in the first half. And he's just saying that the complexion, when you score first, sometimes it changes the whole dynamic
of the game.
Yeah. So I think that's the whole point he's making.
I beg to differ. Mbappe's response to that final goal, I beg to differ. Mbappe's response when he told his team, keep it calm, and within a minute he scored, I beg to differ.
All right. That's what we like. We like good argument. Let me just make a point. Sorry, but let me just make this point. This is going to be the first World Cup, right? Where it's not only the top two teams that move forward. Remember, we have 48 teams. We have 12 groups. So 12 twos is 24. So the best third place teams, the eight best third place teams are going to also go through. So even if a Brazil or somebody could end up going through, even if they had lost the match to who it was again? Remind me. Even if they had lost their first match. So this is the first World Cup where we're gonna have not just the first the top two teams in each group going forward. So when you're thinking about who might end up in the next round, that's something to remember. Mark, you had another point you were gonna make?
I'm sure transitioning to the Germany.
Oh yes, go ahead.
Questions that you had. Yeah. Just for full disclosure, Germany is my team from West Germany. And big up to Kiwanis.
So the last two World Cups, you must have had heart failure.
It's your German supporter as well.
Mark, sorry,
From
the
way
last
back with you,
two.
Mark. From way back with you. From I know myself. 1980, I think I remember the first World Cup.
But Mark, it means that the last two World Cups you had nobody to cheer for.
No, I still cheer for Germany. Was it disappointing? Of course it was, but it's my team. So
Okay.
I'm being upfront with that. So I'm not a wagonist. Um, I think France and Argentina stand a very good chance. Germany, because we didn't do much, we didn't show up at all in the last two World Cup outings. I don't know what to expect this trip. I'm not gung ho, but I'm fully behind the team. I think the team expressed themselves in typical German fashion, if you can call it that.
Yes.
Very methodical, very
Yes.
efficient, lack of
Yes.
fanfare, and very high scoring rates.
Yes.
So
And
it's a typical German team, I see there. I think they can benefit, however, from a playmaker. I remember the period, the tournaments with Klinsmann and Rudi Völler and Bremer and all those guys. They had a little bit more pace and flair, and they could run on to a team instead of just this mechanical straight
but
pass approach.
it's part of the culture that cannot change. That is
I
not going
hear
to
you,
change.
but I don't think when it comes down to the margins, those margins in close matches deep into the tournament, you need a little extra because these straight passes can be read and intercepted. You see what I'm getting at? They need a little a player with an edge.
Okay,
Mbappe
but
don't have all that great flair in my view. What he has as his edge is pace, and the youngster as well that scored today.
But I wouldn't say he doesn't have any flair, but I agree that pace
No
is his
flair.
strength.
So.
Pace is his strength. And he's an attractive player. I mean, the way he that first goal that he scored and he took control of it because that guy was very close to him. I mean, that's not flair exactly, but it's nice to watch. And that's what I'm making the distinction between. When we say people have flair, we really mean they're nice to watch, them stylish, and them, they do things a particular way. But he's attractive to watch. I don't have a problem with that.
And I have
Okay.
no problem with watching him either. When I said flair, I meant ability to dribble, non-linear. And I don't think he has that. He has good pace to his credit.
Yes.
He's calm under pressure in the 6 yard, and he has good placement.
Yes, he does execute. He does execute well. Well, who else we want to talk about?
Stewart.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, remember these three things. When Germany dropped 8-0 against Saudi Arabia, 2002, a final them go against Brazil. 7-1 when they give it a final them go Argentina. So we could see how far them are gonna reach. Because I heard somebody, but you do remember at one time they had you remember this baller, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge? That was an excellent forward, him.
Yeah.
Well, Germany has Germany.
Yeah, man.
Let me just come in a little bit. Germany has the record.
Let's see.
1 second, Robert. Germany has the record for having reached the most finals. They have won 4, and I think they have lost 4. I think it's 8. That's what I think I read.
Yeah.
And Holland has the record for the team who has reached the most finals but have never won the World Cup. And I think that was 3. They have never won the World Cup. Holland have they opened the season? Has Holland played yet? I can't remember.
Yes, it was a 12 draw with Japan.
Them draw 2-2 with Japan.
That's Japan. That was Japan.
Yeah, man.
How did Holland look? I didn't actually see that match. How did Holland look? Is Holland a contender?
We're not fully gelled yet. We're coming.
Sorry. Say who is let one person talk. Who is gonna say it? Who's gonna Prez, you wanna go? You go ahead.
Now, I would say we're not fully jailed yet, but we're coming. Don't count us
So
out yet.
why you said we?
Huh?
Yes, it's how much team
I
him
don't
want to have
understand we.
marathon.
I don't understand the we, Prez.
So I do blue, white, and red, vertical and horizontal.
Well, Holland have no blue in them flag. Holland have blue.
Yes,
Why they
yes.
wear orange?
Netherlands is red, white, and blue, just like France.
Yeah, one is horizontal and one is vertical,
So why they
depending on
playing
the country.
orange? I wonder
Same
why
flag.
they playing orange.
Culture is a cultural thing because of the monarchy at the time. So orange is really for the monarchy. Is a cultural thing. It's not their national color.
Okay. Thanks for that information. Okay.
I'll comment on that. I'll quick follow on quickly. I am very. I've always been impressed by Japan. I think they have a very good program over the years. I mean, they have been to all the World Cups since they're starting with us in '98,
Yes, they
Jamaica,
started with us. Yeah.
and they're going toe to toe. And I find that the Asian style, if you want to call it that, very fast paced, very
Yes.
highly technical, skilled, and you can't outrun them. They're
And
very speedy.
and their goalie is a well, he's mixed, I guess you could say he's mixed. You saw a picture of the goalie? Or
I
did you see
did,
the
I
goalie?
did.
Yeah. Interesting. Again, some of those mixtures have come about because of the US, let's call it the US occupation, and therefore, relationships were formed. That's how I figure it out anyhow. Other doesn't have to speak for everyone. Okay. So you're saying Holland is coming. So are we now with Spain's relatively, let's say, mediocre showing against it was Cape Verde, right? What does that say about Spain? Is Spain a team still to be reckoned with? I know you can't judge it from just one match, but
Was
what
it
were
a
their
mediocre
faults?
showing? Because they had they were in control of the ball. They went to the goal. It's just that they couldn't get anything in. We had a
Yep.
great goalkeeper watching. He did
Yeah.
really well. So I think that was just too early for us to see what Spain is going to do with that
Okay,
first match.
so
But
okay.
DP Stewart, I wanted to ask one question because I want to catch a bit of the Argentina match. If you were to say one of the 10, you brought in that we have 10 African nations. Which one of the 10 do you believe is going to go the furthest in this World Cup?
Morocco.
Oh, we said that
Okay.
already. I remember hearing it. You think Morocco
No,
will go the furthest? Or that was just
Morocco,
Zuri, President Zuri?
Morocco is the African
President Zuri.
champion. Morocco is the African champion, and they have been displaying the kind of skill set that suggests that they are likely to go the furthest. But it doesn't always go to form. It doesn't always go to form. Nigeria is not in this World Cup, but Ghana is. I'd love to see you when Ghana plays. I'm looking forward to watching Ghana. And there are some other teams. So I'm not ready to pick one yet, but I think
Ivory Coast started with a win against Ecuador. They started with a win.
yes. And right. Ivory Coast is also one that is they have it's amazing when you hear the commentators, they tend to talk down about African countries. And yet when you look at the African players playing for all these other sides, we just really want to see one African country just emerge and really get close, or let's say even get to the final. I think it will happen before too long, But it is interesting, and we are looking forward to how they perform. And what I like now is that 32 teams go forward for the knockout. We don't know how they're gonna play out, but there's a lot ahead that we have to look forward to. So thanks for raising that point. Who else wants to jump in? And I want to hear more from the ladies, because I think there are more ladies on the platform tonight than gentlemen. The Rushes have the Argentina match is on Rush right now, you know. So I have the TV on, I can see it.
That
It's still
Argentina just scored.
okay. I missed that because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing. But I see the scoreline now, 1-0.
Well,
Right.
DP Stewart, with that
Yes.
said, maybe now is a good time for us to try to wrap so that the
No,
enthusiasts can
no,
go
but
and enjoy the match.
no. Let's turn on. You can't turn on your TV, Pres. All I'm saying though is that I just want to be sure that other persons who have not yet had a chance, if they want to make a contribution, now is the time. But they don't have to. You don't have to turn off, stop, because you can watch the match and you can watch the match. I'm watching the match. Just give it a little time, present. But I want to see if there are any other persons who have a contribution to make. Let me just make there were some other things I had to say after. A couple of controversies have come up in the World Cup so far. One is with Junior. He refused to do a halftime interview, and he's getting some flack for that, because apparently it's in the contract for players to. But this is a new thing. A halftime normally in the match interviews was the norm. A number of things. Even this break, is it really that hot in America? What does anybody know what the temperatures are like for this hydration break that they have introduced, or is it just a facility so that the networks can earn some more money with advertising? Anybody has a comment on that?
Money was the beginning, the middle, and the end of this entire thing, and a lot of things that are a lot of rules being introduced, a lot of tolerance. I not even think it's tolerance, acceptance of certain things that run contrary to the historic spirit of the game that is
You
being
remember?
tolerated.
You remember the US wanted to introduce timeouts in our football, you know, but
Well,
now
there
they have
you
got.
go.
Yeah, they wanted to, but it was rejected long ago. But now they got this pass with the hype. But to be honest, I don't think 3 minutes is a bad idea. It does give a coach a little time to get back to the team, and it's not traditional for us. But you know, I'm not totally against it, because I don't. I like a 3 minute break is not really a major obstacle for me, and you know it might help some teams. So but obviously I
Yes,
think the
it helps
revenue.
you if you're not in the ascendancy at the time of the break. That's the point. Because momentum is very important in the game.
Okay. One other thing. There is I heard a case about Haiti. I saw the match, but I don't remember the incident. But there's a claim that Haiti should have gotten a penalty. And I've heard that there the FIFA, let's say FIFA, has refused to, when journalists have asked them to release the video of when what the VAR people are seeing, what they are seeing. They have refused to release the video. And it makes you wonder if something, unethical was done to disenfranchise Haiti. Those are some of the things that are going on behind the scenes. Other things that
Haiti
are
was robbed. Haiti was
that's
robbed.
yeah, that's the point that
Right
I'm
throughout that
raising.
game, there were more than one incident. There was a clear handball in the box. That's one you might have commented on. There was another where um the Scottish guy stepped. He was showing his boot straight into the
Oh
Haiti guy.
yes.
Right. And then there's a third, which was so terrible, where the Haitian guy had the ball, total in full control of the ball, while the Scottish guy held on to his hand and
Mm-hmm.
his shirt and was pulling him pulling him away from the ball. And then when he reacted, no, the Haitian guy got a yellow card.
Yes, yes. I think I remember that. Yeah. So this is this what football has come to, or has this always happened to some of the lesser teams? I really I don't know if I'm in a position to say
Well,
that is so, but these things tend to happen,
but
to
as
the
I said
teams that.
earlier, the tournament, it's all about the Benjamins, and you know it. This tournament is all the numbers, this is a great opportunity for FIFA to get a lot of new eyeballs, especially out of the US, to the sport, bringing it to the
Well,
Western
that's not
side.
a negative. That is not a negative.
It's not a negative. What is the negative is that you sell out the soul of the gig and the spirit of the game and the principle of the game to achieve that. That is it.
No,
That
no,
is the
but no.
trade-off that we
Sorry,
made.
you have to no. You have to put in something else to justify that point. What I would where I would support your argument is by bringing in this dynamic pricing. The way the tickets have been priced. That is what I would use to justify the point you are making. But I mean, in other words, if you're going to back up your statement, I would use the dynamic pricing as an example,
That's one
because
thing. The other thing is the language. How you can ask a Spanish man must be talking Spanish?
what what
What's with that in a
what,
global game and
what was that?
in at least two
Tell me
of the
tell me
three
about
countries?
tell me about that incident. I'm not familiar
There
with that.
was an incident too where they y- there is elsewhere up north they are talk about you need to speak in English, and there's this emphasis on that. I think
No, but
it was with one of the,
what kind of scenario is that we're talking about? And
there was an interview with one of the, just like how you call it, the post match interview, and they were asking a question. I think it was a Mexican press person was asking in Spanish, and the person was gonna respond in Spanish, and I think they were told that they need to ask and communicate in English, and it caused some issue. And I'm saying Mexico is one of the hosts. Um, Even Canada, I mean, is
where that
multilingual.
match was in Mexico? That was a match in Mexico?
I believe so.
Okay. No, well, what FIFA should have had is have interpreters, because there are obviously people from different, multiple language countries, then put it that way, who that's not anything that should have caused a problem. But I hadn't heard about that. And how many people? One other thing I just like to just mention quickly. The prize money, I understand that the prize money, the total prize money for all teams is $1 billion. Total is $1 billion. But what do you think are the revenues, the estimated revenues that this World Cup should bring in? Anybody has that figure? I've heard a figure. All right, 11 billion. So you're kind of wondering if that is a fair split, and why would, I mean, obviously expenses are expenses, right? But it doesn't seem like a fair split in terms of how the wealth is being shared. So those are some of the things that the off the ball things. But I think we're getting close to wrapping now. We can wrap up. I'm just gonna say, let's if anybody has any final comments, I think we have had a pretty lively discussion. Now is the time, otherwise hold thy peace.
Boy, I didn't want to finish on this. No, I thought you would have asked about with that $1 billion when it split up. I was having this conversation elsewhere. Jamaica having missed out
Yes.
on almost millions of US dollars.
Yes.
right? It's gonna be near impossible now for us to get to the next any World Cup because unless it's another three nation or the increase from 48 to some other figure.
No.
Because we don't have the resources. Even the smaller teams, even Curacao now, which is 99% Dutch. When they get that money, they can properly finance their programs, and they're not gonna come any worse than they are now. They're gonna come better. So it's gonna be a uphill task for Jamaica.
Well, that speaks for itself. I mean, we screwed. You know, when you look at the draw that Jamaica got, it is almost as if FIFA had their eyes on Jamaica and said, "We want Jamaica to reach this World Cup," and we still couldn't reach. And we still couldn't make it. I mean, it's like they were doing everything to give Jamaica a chance to reach the 26th World Cup, and we muffed it. So that's just history. Okay, time going. Anybody else? Last call. Last call. Last call. Oh, just one other thing. This guy Weah, George Weah's son, playing for the USA. That's an interesting turn of events. Well, remember George Weah from Liberia. And he was really a top star in the European leagues that he played in, and then he became president of Liberia, I think, at one stage. And
Yeah, but just before that, Stewie, you must tell the people them, Ballon d'Or winner, you know. You must say George Weah was the first black Ballon d'Or winner, you know.
yes, thanks for
Yeah,
adding
man,
that.
that was very important, you know, before he became president, when he used to play for Marcel, and he won he won Champions League with them. With Marcel.
Yeah.
That side of the Frenchman, Papin, George Pierre
Yeah.
Papin. And the same coach now, Deschamps, was also on that France side that won Champions League. Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, we can wrap now. President, I'm willing to turn it back over to you. We can turn it back over to you. And I think we have exhausted all the comments that we had. But I think we had a lively discussion. We're not here. We don't need to predict at this stage because everybody who is supporting a team, even if your team didn't do well in their first match, you're not going to drop your team just so. So you hold on to your favorites. I'm still holding on and hoping that Brazil will do the right thing and bring in Hendrick, and let's see if they'll do any better. Okay, folks, thank you for your participation, and back to President Zuri.
All right, thank you, DP Stewart. I'll now hand over to DLG Willie for notices and announcements.
Thank you, President. There are very few announcements. One, let me draw attention that on Thursday, 5:30, Kiwanis Foundation Jamaica will be having a special meetings to discuss some adjustments, or proposed corrections and adjustments to their constitution. I have circulated it, the notice of meeting to our members. Just to remind members present of the breakfast feeding program at Marie Atkins continues on this coming Saturday. What I'd like to do is now reinforce our proposed, let's remind members of the upcoming National Dance Theatre Company benefit performance on Saturday, July the 18th, and that is at 8 o'clock. This year, like last year, we are participating with other Kiwanis clubs where they can come and share with us an evening of dance and song and have good fellowship. I have spoken to a number of presidents and they have so far shown some interest, because how it works is basically when we get the full house, we get 580 tickets. Of that 580 tickets, 130 tickets goes towards the house, so it will leave us with 450. And alone, Kiwanis Club can't sell 450 tickets, more or less, they will sell 100. So over the years, we have been fortunate to have clubs participating with us and ensuring that we sell as many of the 450 tickets that we do have. So any club interested, please call me or call President Zuri, and we'll be happy to include you. The tickets, I'm going to collect the tickets tomorrow, and the flyer should be ready by Friday, so it will be ready to circulate to the presidents as well. And just to remind members, on Friday evening at 6 o'clock, Mall Plaza, offices of DP Newton, we'll be having a fundraising meeting, primarily to discuss the collection from our recent Barbie Pride, as well as outstanding amounts owing still from the Christmas charity ball in December. For those now, those are notices and announcements with respect to winter clubs. We have a special invitation from Kiwanis Club of New Kingston to attend their meeting tomorrow, as they'll be celebrating Father's Day in advance of the day on Saturday. But tomorrow we have a special invitation. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend, so I'm hoping that maybe a few of us can attend the meeting and support Kiwanis Club of New Kingston. Otherwise, I will circulate the other interclubbing opportunity to the members. For now, President Zuri, that's all. Over to you, sir.
All right, thank you. At this time, I will invite everyone on the platform to raise their glasses with me.
President Zuri, you don't want a thought.
You
don't want a thought.
Well, seeing that we were over, I was going to save it for next week.
Don't take any time to do a thought for the week, President.
Take a minute.
I can give you one.
What you can do today for tomorrow.
I didn't hear that, dear G.
I'm saying that you need to allow him, because never put off what you can do today for tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Well, if Dale G. Greflin says so, I will allow you.
Okay. Here's a thought for the week. If my life is fruitless, it doesn't matter who praises me. And if my life is fruitful, it doesn't matter who criticizes me. So that's my thought for the week.
All right. Thank you, DP Stewart. I hope that we will make the most of the criticism and that we will not let the praises get to our heads. All right. So now at this time, I will invite all persons present to raise your glasses with me, literal, figurative, imaginary, in a toast to Kiwanis International and to Jamaica, land we love. Thank you so much for joining us this week. All the very best to your teams. Continue to enjoy the World Cup, and may France or the Netherlands win. Thank you.
Okay. Let me stop recording 1 second.
I don't understand President Zuri. So what, he's carrying 2 teams?
Yes, he's carrying 2 teams.
It is one set of colors, just in 2 different directions. So I'm bringing blue, white, and red, horizontally and vertically.
What about the players?
So, I've never
I
heard of
didn't
that.
hear Deji.
What
I've,
is
I've
the
never
new
heard that
government?
justification for supporting two teams.
Oh
Uh,
boy. Good night, gentlemen. Happy watching football.
okay, babe.
Thank you, Deji.
Let me just stop this first. Stop.